Registration is currently open for the Bronze Duke of Edinburgh Award 2023 to 2024. This year we'll be offering it to all S4 pupils. The Duke of Edinburgh Award is a nationally recognised award that helps develop skills and confidence in young people, as well as improve their mental and physical well-being and contributions to the community. Their successful completion of the award will give them skills, confidence and an edge over others when they apply for jobs, apprenticeships, colleges or university. We have successfully seen thousands of pupils successfully complete the Duke of Edinburgh Award at Larbert, and it really develops their skills for life going into the workforce, and it opens up various opportunities for them both in the community and once they leave school. So for pupils, if they decide to sign up to the Bronze Duke of Edinburgh Award, what is required is for them to complete 4 sections. The first 3 of these will be to volunteer, do a physical activity like a sport, and to complete 3 months of skills. Each of these 3 sections must be completed within a minimum of 3 months. However, one of these sections will require a further 3 months. It is up to the pupil which section they decide to do the further 3 months in. So for example, if they decide that they want to do the further 3 months in volunteering, they would complete 6 months of volunteering, followed by 3 months of physical and 3 months of skill. These can all be completed at the same time. Once all those sections have been successfully completed, pupils will then undertake a 2-day expedition, and that will be an overnight camping trip with 2 days walking either side of the camping. Now, when it comes to what pupils can possibly do when they complete their different sections, it's important to note that these things have to be extracurricular or out with school. It cannot be something that they already do in school. If they are looking to, for their volunteering section, pupils can do things like helping in community centres. This year we had pupils working with youth groups or scouts, working in conservation, litter picking. For physical activity, the type of things we want to see are different sports. You could do swimming, you could do dancing, tennis, football, and also for our skills, we're looking at things like performance arts, playing a musical instrument, reading and baking. It's important to note that if you already do one of these things, if you're already part of a football team, if you already play an instrument, these are things that you can do as part of your award. There's no need to look for anything brand new. You can use something that you already do as part of whatever section is relevant. Now, for each section, as I've said, 2 of them will be completed over 3 months and 1 will be completed over 6 months. What that means is it requires at least 1 hour of activity per week. Now, what that doesn't mean is that, okay, I can't do it 1 week, but I do 2 hours the next week. It must be regular, at least once per week, and at least 1 hour per week. What is also required for each section is an appropriate assessor. So this is someone who can oversee the development and your progress of completing the section. So for example, if you're volunteering in a scout group, it is a scout leader who can vouch for you, who can discuss your development, what you have done, how often you came along. And this is really important because at the end of each section, you're required to submit an assessor's report, which is basically just a written report by your assessor to say how long you've done it for, how you have developed, and what they see for you going forward. It's important to also note that assessors cannot be family members or friends. It must be someone within the community or out with your social circle. Now, this year we have allowed pupils to use teachers as their assessors. However, teachers must be experts in the relevant subject. So for example, if baking is a skill that a pupil wants to do, or a musical instrument, the teacher must be someone in music or cooking, because they can then offer the expertise to say how they've developed and how they can progress. If a pupil does decide that they want to use a teacher as their assessor, it is important that this is out with what they already do in school time. So if they're learning guitar as part of music in school, it's important that they then do extra things outside of this, and that they check in with their assessor at least once per week outside of class time, to make sure that this is something that's extracurricular. They're developing this out with their regular school day and school week. And once all that's done, what is at the end is the reward of a brilliant experience in the expedition. And the expedition is fantastic. It allows pupils to develop teamwork, communication skills, and really build resilience over the 2 days. As I said before, it would be overnight, so pupils would be required to bring a backpack filled with equipment to allow them to successfully complete an overnight camping expedition. Now, we will not be doing this cold. Pupils will have completed expedition training throughout the year, as well as 2 practice day walks. The type of training that we will do will look at navigation skills, map reading skills, how to use compass, appropriate food to bring, how to pack bags, how to set up tents, how to cook when you're out in the wild. As it is currently planned, the final expedition will take place in June 2024, as the final expedition took place this year as well. So what is required from pupils? Well, pupils, if they are wanting to register interest, the first step is to complete the Google form that is posted at the end of this presentation. Now, because of staffing this year, we are limiting the numbers that are getting involved in the Bronze Duke of Edinburgh Award, so we are doing this on a first come, first served basis. When you access the Google form, you'll realise it will ask you for certain things such as your name, but it will also ask you to log what you plan to do for each section. So you must already know what you're doing for your physical, what you're doing for your skill, what you're doing for volunteering. You must also know who your assessors are going to be. So you must ask the person that you want to be your assessor, is it okay for me to put you down as an assessor? So we require their full name as well as contact details for them. It's important that we have that because that shows that you are committed to this and that is something that you're already getting the ball rolling. Registration of interest will close on the 25th of August, so pupils will have all of summer to collate ideas for what they want to do, as well as get in contact with any relevant bodies should they need to look for volunteering opportunities, any physical sporting opportunities, or any skill opportunities. If chosen and they are in the first come first served basis and they're some of the first that have enrolled, pupils will then be put on an iPayment setup will be established, and it will be a £55 enrolment fee. What this does is it covers the cost of registration with Duke of Edinburgh, but also covers the cost of us renting facilities from the council and buying things in like equipment for them to use on their expedition. Now, it is really important that pupils offer the commitment that is required to complete the Duke of Edinburgh Award. What that means is that pupils must attend every single session that will train them for the expedition. Now, sessions will be on Monday evenings. They will not be every Monday evenings, but they will be regular throughout the term. If pupils miss more than 2 of these sessions, it may result in them being taken off of the award and can be filled with someone who is on the waiting list who did not meet the first come, first served basis. What we also require is regular uploading of evidence. So each week, when you complete your 1 hour of activity, you will also have evidence to upload. So that can be in the form of a photo of you completing the activity. It's evidence of the date, how long you did it for, a description of what you did, a written description, and a written reflection of how you felt after you completed your activity that week. And that must be done for all sections. So 1 piece of evidence per week for skill, 1 piece of evidence per week for your physical, and 1 piece of evidence per week for your volunteering. It's important that we're keeping up to date with these so that pupils can then go on the final expedition, and we will regularly be checking these throughout the year to ensure pupils are on track to complete the award and get the opportunity to go on the final expedition. If that is not the case, then pupils will be possibly removed from the award, and that space can be filled by a pupil that would be put on the waiting list. So if you are interested in the Duke of Edinburgh Award this year, I suggest that you scan this QR code, potentially you can take a picture of this and it will take you to the Google form that you need to fill out. I understand that most people won't be ready to fill out this form just yet if this is the first you're hearing of it, but like I said, you have until the 25th of August to complete this form, and that will give you time to get your physical in order, get your skill in order, and your volunteering section in order so that you can fill out the form with as much detail as possible. If there are any questions, you can come see myself, Mr. Miller, in D104 in the Humanities block, and I will also post my email on the pupil booklet that will be provided for pupils and parents.